Hi everyone, it is Bree with Straighten Her Crown Project. I hope you all had a wonderful Thanksgiving. I am still full, but still somehow managed to keep eating. I am so excited to be back. Today is a amazing woman with amazing story. You guys don't want to miss this. We'll see you in a sec. Hey everybody, look who I have. It's Makayla Chadwick. Say hi.
Hello. Hi, everybody. I'm very, very excited to be here. Thank you for having me.
Yes,
Bree.
doesn't she look beautiful?
Thank you. Thank you.
Your story has reached so many people, and I get messages and I get people talking to me all of the time. I just want you to know that you are such an inspiration.
Thank you. I really
Yes.
appreciate that.
Yeah, of course. So tell us just a little bit about yourself.
Okay. Yeah. So I guess I could start at the beginning. I was born and raised in Wyoming. So was my husband. We both lived there our entire lives. We met in high school, so we're kind of high school sweethearts, but he's a couple years older than me. So we've been together since I was in high school. And when I graduated the same weekend I turned 18, graduated, I moved in with him in a town on the other side of the mountain. So that's where we lived for the past 8 years and where we kind of started our lives together. We bought a house about a year after I graduated. I moved in. I was going to college, and then we bought our first home. And that fall, my husband was in an oil field explosion. So it was terrible, and we weren't married at the time. We were just dating, so of course I didn't have any rights to know anything. And it was extremely tragic, very shocking, very horrific, everything you can think of. So he was severely, severely burned. He was flown to the burn unit in Salt Lake City, Utah, and we were there for quite a while. So luckily, he looks great today. You would have no idea what happened. He looks so, so good. He healed better than they could have ever imagined he would have healed. He didn't even need to have any skin grafts. He looks awesome. Unless you knew his story, you would have no idea. So he was in a coma during a part of that time. And that's when, I really had to stop and think about, oh no, we just bought a home. We just bought a car. We just started this life. We have horses. We have a dog. What would I do if anything happened to him? And just that fear is very, very hard to process when you're only, 18, 19 years old. So it was a lot to go through, and I think that it made us closer than we could have ever been. And, if we can get through literally life or death, we can get through anything. So I'm extremely grateful for him. I'm so grateful that, he's well, he looks great. And this happened November 23rd, 2013. So we just had the 8-year anniversary of his explosion.
Oh, wow.
So, yeah, it's pretty crazy. But
oh my gosh, that is a hard thing to go through at such a young age, and I imagine it made you grow up quite a bit.
Yes. Yeah, definitely. But we worked through it. He continued working at the job for a short while. I don't know why, but he did. He had to get back to work. And then we just kind of continued to grow in our career, to build on our home, to kind of do everything that way. And I got my degree, and then I started looking for a job in the area. And in Wyoming, it's very, very hard for women to find a job in the area we were, because it's an oil field town. Right. It's a man's town. It's, labor force, it's heavy equipment, it's construction, it's all those things. Right. So to find a job as a woman in that town, to find a career, is extremely difficult. So it took a long time for me to find a job. And finally, I found a job in Jackson, Wyoming, which is about an hour and a half away. And at that job, I started at Wells Fargo as a teller. And then I wanted to move up as fast as I could. So I moved up to a banker, and then I was a branch manager by the time I was 20. So I became the branch manager of Wells Fargo when I was 20 in Pinedale, in the town that we lived in. So that job really, gave me a lot of confidence. I grew so much in that opportunity. I learned how to lead a team. I learned how to, manage a business, basically. So, I learned so much from that. I'm so grateful for that opportunity. But at the same time, I really wanted to go a path where I could be my own boss.
Right.
And I didn't have those restrictions and restraints of such a large company. So growing up, I watched my aunt, who was a State Farm agent, my entire life, from the time I can remember. She was a State Farm agent. My uncle worked with her at State Farm. They both retired from State Farm. My cousin works for State Farm in Ohio. I worked for him briefly. And she always said that I would make the best agent. She always wanted me to be an agent. But, when you're young, you're like, okay, Auntie, sure. Yeah, I'll definitely do that. And, I just was tired of the extremely corporate limitations on how I managed my team, and I wanted to do it myself. I wanted to be my own boss. So I started working for a State Farm agent in Jackson, Wyoming, which was an amazing experience. And then we adopted our daughter, and I started working from home for my aunt. So I guess I should dive into that story a little bit
let's
too.
dive into the adoption.
Yeah.
Yes, because she's so beautiful.
She's so fun. She is so cute. And it's so funny because she acts so much like me. It's hysterical. I'm like, I don't know. People are like, are you sure? Are you sure? I'm like, I'm pretty sure. But yes. So our daughter's name is Kimber. And she is right here actually in this picture. Her birth parents are in there also, Mark and Shannon. And she's sitting next to me at the PAYP networking event. She loves to network. She doesn't know it yet, but she does. So not long after the explosion, my husband and I, we weren't married yet, but we found out that it would be very, very difficult for us to have children. They told us right off the bat, no matter what happens, you will have to do IVF. And so we said, okay, well, that's extremely expensive. We can't afford that. We're not even married. Is that really a priority? So rather than pursuing that, we saved up money. We had an amazing, beautiful wedding in the mountains. And we went on a honeymoon to South Africa on a hunting safari. So
fun.
It was so fun. It was the coolest experience. We definitely want to go back. We made some great connections, and it was just so eye-opening to see another part of the world and, just experience another country. It was amazing. So, that was really cool. My husband is an avid hunter. I'm a hunter, but I'm more like, I like easy hunting and, I don't really want to work that hard. I don't really care if it's the biggest animal. I just want meat for my family.
Right.
It's all we eat. So, but that is my husband's passion. That is all he cares about. So that's what we did for a honeymoon. Very memorable honeymoon, I have to say. It was a blast. Very memorable. I'd love to go back. And then after that, we decided it was time to pursue a family since we knew it would take a long time. So we went through several rounds of IVF to no avail. It did not work, which is very, very hard when you expect it to work because you're young. Right. You say, oh, well, it's going to work because I'm young. And that's not always the case. So we, that was probably the hardest time in our relationship. You kind of have to, through the explosion, we really grew together. And when you go through infertility and you go through IVF, there's so many hormones and emotions involved that you don't really expect to have. And, you tend to blame each other, which it's really not fair because it's no one's fault that it happens. So, I think that actually made us grow stronger once we overcame that because it was such a big trial for us. So, I'm kind of the person that I always want to do the next thing. Like, let's get it done. Okay, IVF didn't work. Let's go to adoption. And my husband was very hesitant. I kind of rush him into things. I kind of force him into things. I'm like, no, you want to do this. You do. You'll thank me later. You'll thank me later.
Yes, I have one of those.
Yeah, so sometimes they just need a little push. And so that's what I did. I kind of, I went to a specialist, and he told me that even if I were to make the IVF work, there could be a lot of complications, and my body just didn't want to do it. My body says, no, I don't like that. That's not going to happen. So we didn't want to risk something happening if I was able to finally get pregnant. So we decided that adoption was our path. It was very clear that IVF wasn't the route, and it became more important for us to be parents than for me to be pregnant.
Absolutely.
And that's what I hear a lot of adoptive moms say when they choose the path of adoption, is they choose to be a parent rather than to get pregnant. And so that's what we did, and it is the most amazing experience that we've ever gone through. We filled out an obscene amount of paperwork. We chose an amazing company, an amazing agency. And really what was most important to us when choosing an agency is to make sure that they take care of the birth mom. So birth mom is everything. We absolutely love Kimber's birth mom. She's a huge part of our family. She is family. And it's very important to me that when we picked an adoption agency, they took care of them. So the agency took care of the family. They give them, counseling, support. They're there for them every step of the process and afterwards. And that was
amazing.
really, really important to us. And our daughter, we were matched to her. It's actually very interesting. We started the paperwork process in October. She was conceived in October.
Oh.
So, which was really cool. And so October of 2018, she was conceived, and we didn't know that obviously, but we matched with her birth parents. They found our profile in April, and she was in our arms June 17th, 2019. So our process was pretty fast. It's very different now from COVID. COVID made a huge impact in adoption. So we're so lucky and so grateful for her. We're so grateful for her birth parents. We have a very open adoption. They actually came to Prescott to visit us last January, which was really cool. So that's definitely the most important part of our lives is our Kimber. And she is named after the gun, Kimber.
I was going to ask.
Yeah, yes.
I kind of had a feeling. Yeah.
Yes. But, I look at it this way. They're like designer guns, and adoption's very expensive. So she's like a designer baby. That's how I look at it. But we love her. Her middle name's Elizabeth, which is her birth mom's middle name. And, we find that open adoption is so important because if she ever has a question or she just wants to talk to them, she can talk to them. If I have a question about health, I can just text her and ask. And it's just, they've done so much research these days about how impactful adoption is for everybody. It's called the adoption triad, adoptive parents, birth parents, and the adoptee. And you can never have too many people love your child.
Absolutely.
And at the end of the day, look, there she is.
Beautiful.
Yes, that was our Christmas photo shoot when she was a baby. So, she's everything to us. She has the hugest personality. And we are just so grateful for her and so beyond grateful for her birth parents. They're truly amazing people, and they'll be in our life forever. So, yeah, she's a big part of our story. So when we adopted her and we brought her home, I said, I need to bond with my baby. I want to be home with her. So I started working for my aunt from home at State Farm. And she said, I'll coach you. I'll train you up. I want you to be an agent. I know that you can be an awesome agent. And I said, okay, sure, whatever. Let's do it. So I started working from home while I had Kimber, and I was able to bond with her. And it was funny. I was so worried that because she was adopted, she wouldn't bond with me. And then she was so attached to me.
Oh.
So that was really, really cool. And my aunt giving me that opportunity, I'll forever be grateful for because she allowed me to be home with my baby during that really important time, and also was able to coach me into this career. So I worked for my aunt, and she retired, and I wanted to be an agent to take over her book of business.
Okay.
So she was in Park City, Utah, and she retired, and I actually applied for that position, but I wasn't chosen, which at the time I didn't realize, but it was a blessing in disguise because now I'm here. So I couldn't be more grateful that didn't happen.
Right.
But at the time, I was pretty upset about it, obviously. So I said, you know what? I'm just going to apply for a position somewhere else, anywhere else. I'm going to look at a completely different state because we've never lived outside of Wyoming. And my husband said the only other state he would move to was Arizona because of the hunting. And
Yes.
he wanted to live somewhere that still had a lot of public land and not so much private land. So I said, okay, I'll look at Arizona. So I looked at Arizona and I saw that there was an opening in Prescott. And I said, oh, I remember this place. My dad went to school here. And as a kid, he graduated here. And we came down here when we were kids. And my mom talked about how much she loved the area. So I was like, that's so interesting. I should look into it. So I started doing my research and I was just blown away by everything I found. I was like, this is perfect. This is what I'm looking for. What I really wanted was I wanted a community. I wanted, somewhere to raise our kids, somewhere for Kimber to have more opportunities than Wyoming can offer. Wyoming is a beautiful, amazing state, but we're very, very remote. So the nearest town was Jackson, which was an hour away, and they don't even have a Walmart. The nearest Walmart would be probably Idaho Falls, which is like 2.5 hours away.
Wow.
So just to kind of put it in perspective,
it's small if it doesn't have a Walmart. Yeah.
We literally lived in the middle of nowhere. So, we loved that town. We grew a lot, but it really just wasn't what I wanted for our family. I wanted Kimber to be able to do dance and gymnastics and sports and anything she wanted to do. Right. But we also have our remote living because we have horses and dogs, and I wanted her to experience both. And this is the perfect place for that. And I couldn't have chosen a better place for our family. And we're just so grateful that it worked out, that State Farm gave us this opportunity. I applied for the position. I got the position. And we moved our family here a year ago this month. So
a year ago,
yes.
Wow.
It's been a year this month, I think in a week or so.
Well, you made quite an impact this last year.
Yes, thank you. Thank you. I tried to.
Yes, and you're also involved in all of these organizations.
Yes.
So, the Lions,
yes.
Early Birds.
Mm-hmm. Early Bird Lions.
Yes, I had the privilege of talking to that group one morning. That's
yes.
Early Birds.
Yes, it is. And it is hard for me because I do have a toddler and a business. So a lot of times I'm in on Zoom. So I did get to see you via Zoom.
Oh, yes. I knew you were there.
Yes. In spirit. Yes, the Early Bird Lions is a really great one that I really enjoy.
So obviously getting involved in the community is huge for you.
Huge. Yes. Yeah. I'm that's probably, another one of my things is they don't have that many organizations in Wyoming. And I'm so social and I want to meet people. And I always say, I don't want to live in a community. I want to be a part of the community.
Absolutely.
I don't want to just live here. I want to be a part of everything that I can possibly be a part of. So I'm in the Early Bird Lions Club and the Prescott Frontier Rotary, which I absolutely love Rotary too. I'll be ringing the bell at Walmart this weekend.
Okay.
So
which one?
On Gale.
Okay. So
yes.
Yes.
So come see me.
Come say hi to.
Come say hi. And I'm also part of the Prescott Area Young Professionals, which I absolutely love. Let's see, what else am I in? There's so many I kind of forget sometimes. The Bloom Women's Marketing Group. I'm also part of Gals Prepared to Succeed, which is a fairly new group, which is really awesome. They actually are meeting today, and I can't make it today, which is a bummer. Or no, not today, next week. And let's see, obviously both chambers, Prescott Valley and Prescott. And I just joined the Chino Chamber. And I'm trying to think. I'm a part of so many things.
Yeah.
Because I want to be. Every time there's an event or there's an opportunity, I want to take advantage of it because I just want to get to know more people. And this past year, I have met more people. I have joined more organizations. I have made more connections than I have my entire life. So very happy, very, very grateful to be here.
Well, good for you. This is literally the first time I actually get to meet you face to face, although we've talked and we've messaged, but so it's an honor to meet you finally. I was
Thank
so
you.
excited. If there was one thing that you could say to everyone, or a favorite quote that you have that really resounds with you, what would that be?
I would say to be yourself, because sometimes, I'm the tattooed State Farm agent and I've had negative feedback for those things, or, sometimes because of my age, people are like, oh, well, you're too young. You don't know anything. At the end of the day, it doesn't matter what anybody else thinks. You need to focus on yourself. So a huge thing that I've learned, especially within, the State Farm agencies, they're going to compare you to other State Farm agents. And that's fine. That's what people do. But stay in your lane, be yourself, and follow your heart, because that's what will truly bring you happiness. And that's what we found by following our heart to Prescott and moving here.
That's exactly what you did, and it worked out wonderfully.
It did, yes.
And our community's better for having you here.
Yes, thank you.
Yes. All right, you guys, thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you for having me. This has
I
been
am
really fun.
so excited. I was like,
Yeah, no, I'm so excited to be here.
Anyway, are people able to reach out to you if they resonated with your story, or
Yeah,
would it just be
Absolutely.
Yeah.
I always say that I am a completely open book. I really, really am. I've made a lot of new friends here, and they already know so much of my story. So I'm an open book. I love to talk, things infertility, adoption. It's such a hard place and such a unique pain that a lot of people go through, and they don't have someone to talk about. So I always love to talk to women about those things. I'll talk to you about anything. I am a social butterfly. I would love to talk to anybody. You can reach out to me anytime. Insurance advice, of course, family, horses, anything.
And they can contact you on Facebook. Do you
Yes,
have an
please.
Instagram?
I do have an Instagram.
Okay.
Yes. I'm not the best at Instagram, but I do try to figure it out.
Okay, you guys. So you
Yes.
can just do a search for Makayla Chadwick on
Yes.
Facebook and or Instagram.
Yes.
And she's open to any of your questions or
Absolutely.
Yes.
Yes.
Okay. Thank you so much.
Yes,
All
thank
right,
you.
you guys. We have another wonderful woman joining us next week. So make sure you stay tuned. Have a wonderful rest of your week.
Yes, and happy holidays.